Very hard to tell, but I think I do have them right. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue our small frame rebuild. Okay, I have it all right here. In the last video I did put on the front end, wheel and all. So next step we need to do is take this motor apart again. Well, not completely apart, just the cylinder. I'm going to make sure the rings are positioned right on the piston. Okay, I didn't realize they had to go in a certain way. I believe I have it right, but I just want to double check before we go and throw this thing into the frame. But after that, I was thinking probably we'll throw on the trim, floor runners, maybe run some cables and some wiring, and then we'll get that motor mounted in the frame, and of course the center stand as well. So yeah, guys, got a lot of work ahead of us, so let's get started. Very hard to tell, but I think I do have them right. So I mentioned in the build video that I had the writing facing up. There's writing on the ring right there. It's also how a lot of manufacturers suggest you install the rings on their pistons. So let me get a mic. I'm going to double check this thing, and then I'll kind of draw a diagram of exactly how it's supposed to be, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what the ring kind of looks like, trapezoid ring. The groove in the piston is the trapezoid as well. So it has to be the correct way, but I cannot tell which is the correct way with the naked eye. So, well, I guess I'll flip it around to where the letterings are facing down, put it back on the piston, and see if the ring doesn't move as well as with the lettering facing up. Right? Because I seriously cannot tell. Alright, so I have the ring back on the piston with the lettering facing down this time. And it does feel like the one underneath it with the lettering facing up moves a little smoother than the one on the top with the lettering facing down. So I'm going to assume that I had them right when I first installed them. But again, I'm going to look at it a little more and see if I can somehow figure out which way is actually the angled side. The small frame, I don't think applies. Because as you can see, I've been clamping this thing all over the place, and it's just straight on no matter how I clamp it. Yeah, I'm going to put it back in with the lettering facing up like I did before. I'm going to send it that way. Alright, I got the piston reinstalled. Rings I left with the lettering facing up like I had it before. So yeah, I'm gonna put this thing in the bike and fire it up later, and everything should be okay. Okay, so next up we'll be installing the badges. I'm going to be using my SIP floor rivet tool with the emblem attachments. It's these guys right here. Usually we use these for the floor rivets, but you can buy this little kit to convert it into installing badges, I guess. Alright guys, I got the two front emblems on. It's nice and easy with the rivet tool. That Piaggio badge is just a sticker, so that was easy. So onto this VIN badge here. I did not crimp these down because these rivets are so small that if I try to crimp this, it's going to destroy the paint out here. So what I use to attach this emblem is what we call Testa tape in the automotive industry. Some really strong emblem tape. So that's on there. The rivets are in there, but they're not crimped down. So what I'm going to do is glue them down just for the look, because I'd rather not destroy the paint trying to install that thing. So the last emblem is this rear badge, which goes here like that. Obviously this is not a 50 special, but owner wants this badge for some strange reason, so I'm just doing what he wants. I'm going to be attaching these guys with these clips here. The badge does not come with these clips. You have to order these from like Amazon or whatever, because you try to round these things back here with a ball peen hammer, it just does not work. I've tried it many times, so I decided to get with these fasteners, and I should just install this real quick. Okay, so I have the rear badge on. It's nice and easy with those clips that I got. So next we're going to do the daunting task of installing the floor rails or floor runners. So usually on the older small frames there's a big black pad that goes here, and there's 2 trim pieces that screw down the sides. But since this is a newer small frame, it uses these rails instead. So obviously you can't rivet these in because you can't get to the other side. So these are held in with screws. So I'm going to start with these and then work my way outward. Alright, so this 4Runners, I was going to reuse the old ones, but like I said in the previous video, they're kind of tired. So I'm going to have to use new ones. Unfortunately, I did not fit the new ones before I got the bike painted. So I'm going to have to be patient and bend these to match the old ones before I install them. It's going to take me a little while, but I'm sure it's not going to be too bad. So I got this one bent to kind of match the old one. So I'm going to install this one first and see how it goes. Alright guys, I have the floor runners completely installed. For being aftermarket, they weren't that bad. I did have the original floor runners to go off of, so I'm pretty happy about this. So the next step I was going to do was install the center stand, but I just realized I forgot to order the rubber boots to go on the ends here. So rather than having to remove them to install those boots later on, I'm just going to leave it off. So I was going to actually hang the motor. And at the beginning of the video, you saw that I went over the rings, so we should be good there. I left these shrouds off because I'm going to be installing this nice exhaust with a big expansion chamber. So this is a VSP exhaust, the road version. This is the exhaust manifold I need to mount onto the cylinder head like this, and then I can put all the shrouds on. Now I'm hoping this thing will fit with the glove box that's on this bike. So I'm hoping it doesn't hit this and it just clears enough so I don't need to notch it, because it's gonna suck if I really had to do that. So yeah, let me get that exhaust manifold bolted up and then we'll go from there. All right, I have the exhaust manifold all mounted up. Next thing I'm gonna do is clean up this wiring for this vape ignition. It does have this loom here, and this is the kill wire, which comes separate. So rather than have it sitting outside, I'm going to run it through this loom here. I poked a hole in this end so it comes out there. And then after that, I'm going to tidy it all up and it'll be ready for the frame. Alright, so I got my wiring all tidied up. I have the kill wire running through this loom here, and it's coming out right here. So the only 3 wires going to hook up to the bike are these 3 right here. I did install a cable clamp right here to keep the wiring away from the frame. So these usually work out well for me. So yeah, this guy's ready to be bolted back into the frame. But before we do that, I need to install the rear shock. Alright, so just like the front, the owner is going with this nice SIP rear shock. I'm going to need to install this rubber bumper for the top of the shock first. So I'll just screw that on with a little bit of Loctite on there. On the small frames, there's no spacer here, okay? So it's just a bumper directly onto the top of the shock. Alright, so let me get that mounted, and then we're going to go ahead and throw it into the frame. Alright, so I have the shock bolted to the frame right there. It's a single nut on the other side, 13 millimeter. Now the next thing I need to do is install this rubber intake bellow into the frame like this, and then the frame will be ready for the motor. Alright, I got the bellow installed, good to go. I have the motor positioned where it should kind of be, and at first glance it looks like the exhaust manifold will clear this glove box, but I actually have to get the motor hung to be sure. So yeah, let's do it. About a ½ inch to spare with that exhaust manifold in the glove box. So yeah, it fits. So whoever wanted me to highlight that, here it is. VSP road exhaust on a small frame Vespa with this kind of glove compartment. Alright, I got the engine bolt torqued down. Spec is 40 Newton meters. Okay, you notice that I tighten this side rather than that side. It's the lock washer. If I tighten this side, it'll destroy the paint on this side. So I do on this side, but yeah, now that the engine is bolted into place, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rear wheel on, and hopefully everything still fits. I went to bolt the rear wheel on. I got the same issue as I did in the front on the front hub, and this wheel will not go on the hub easily because I did put in the extended studs on the rear hub as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just take some material off the inner part of these holes here, and then that should fix the problem. I did take a little bit of material off each hole. Now it fits perfectly. So let me get the tire on, we'll get this thing bolted on, then we can actually torque everything down properly. Alright, I got the wheel all mounted down, torqued down. I got the hub nut torqued properly. I have a cover here that I'm going to snap on real quick. That's that. So I'm gonna grab the exhaust. I'm gonna place it up here and see if it actually fits everything before I continue. Dry fit this exhaust, make sure it works with everything. And it feels like it does. That's how it's gonna sort of look. You have the silencer coming out right here on the side like this. Yeah, looks like everything fits, thankfully. I was really worried about that, but I think we're good. Alright, now we're back on the front end. Remember I said I needed to clamp everything down to torque it. So, front hub nut, 75 Newton meters. Alright, do the same thing as in the back, which is install a cotter pin, and then I have a cap for here as well. I got the cotter pin installed, cap in the front as well. There you go. Let me torque down the other side. Big pivot nut here is 50 Newton meters. Okay, I believe the same thing with this side. Hub nut on this side, also 50 Newton meters, reverse thread. Okay, and this I'm not sure what it is. I'm just gonna get it good and tight, call it a day. Okay. All right, after a few minutes of messing with it, I finally got it. So down here is a little rubber cap goes on. And that's pretty much it for the front end as far as the hardware. So yeah, everything is all torqued down, ready to go. All right, so one last thing. Somebody commented on my last video saying I was missing the rubber bushing that goes between the mudguard and the fork. So I did take it apart and I put in a rubber bushing and I put all back together. So it is correct now. So yeah, guys, I say we did a lot of work to this bike so far. I got the emblems installed. I got the floor runners installed. Now the motor hung. I also have the wheel installed, and of course the most important thing I was worried about is having the exhaust installed as well. So I know that it fits and I don't cut anything, so that's good. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be a few weeks until I get back on this build. I'm actually going to the UK for work, so yeah, it's unfortunate, especially with rally season coming up. I got a lot of other things to do as well, so yeah, guys, it is what it is. Work always comes first. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed these videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time.